Alright, looks like we have loaded in.
And I'm just going to go over this greenskin army. Not even going to give you a choice this time. Because
That's
I love
that's fine.
this. And I don't know, this will either work very well or fail horribly. It's
Oh
gonna
man,
be
I love it too.
glorious,
It's
no
kind of
matter
army
what.
I'd love to play.
Yeah, I mean it's like a perfect RTK army. Just instead of knights in shining armor, you have these fat orcs riding even fatter boars. We have the Death Creepers in the back with the regen and poison, of course, in decent melee stats. Just minimal infantry, which makes sense when you're against Britannia, which usually just brings peasant mobs. Goblins, some night goblins. One of them apparently doesn't have the spinning loons ability. So just a regular night goblin, and then one of them is the War night goblins. And then the core of the army is just a huge amount of cavalry. Savage orc, boar boys, spider riders, moon howlers. I can't even count them all. Yeah, so many units. And then the leadership. Yeah, of course, he's just going to buff all this stuff to hell. And back with Effigy of the Git. Here we go. Fists of Gork, Rainbuster, Bonewood Staff. Also Night Goblin Shaman. He has Itchy Nuisance and a wand to give himself some more magic. Where did they go? There's a Goblin Big Boss as well, so just a straight up in your face cavalry charge, punchy build. Is, befits the greenskins. Achilles, what are the Bretonnians taking?
Bretonians today brought some peasant mobs in the front line, backed up by some peasant bowmen. So the peasants definitely taking the field here. Then we have some Knights of the Realm, exactly 4 in his center. On his right, we do have 2 Grail Guardians being, sneaky and running up in the forest. On the left, we have another Knight's Errant as well. And as for the general, it's the Fey Enchantress, backed up by 2 Paladins. And the Fey has brought Earthblood, of course. And I guess that's it.
Yeah, in theory, this greenskin army shouldn't work because it's like you're trying to challenge Bretonia, the thing they're really good at, right? But in practice, who knows? Burzak can buff the army by quite a bit. The greenskins will have more infantry support. The engagements turn out right. I think the problem will be these Grail Guardians. There's just not a lot of anti-large here to deal with them. We have the first engagement on the left here. See Knights of the Realm coming in, the Hero Squad fighting the Goblins. Satsuma's trying to get a grip on them. The Grail Guardians are coming in.
Yeah.
Just are firing away.
I'm not sure about his engagement. You can see him also pulling out with his most important units because, as you say, the Grail Guardians, they're just gonna do some work once they get into that engagement.
Yeah, and nice work here by Astolfo. Sees the charge coming in and instantly charges his Grail Guardians in through the side to flank this Orc Boar Boy, which is just getting mulched. Now more Boar Boys are coming in. Astolfo is also protecting the flanks, and
he's even protecting his back. I think he might have been sending one Knight Errant too much, as there is not really a lot of cavalry in the back now to actually prevent these forest, Spider Riders to get into the Peasant Archers. Not sure if the Peasant Archers are a crucial target at this point in time. Definitely later, but not sure if they are now.
yeah, they kinda are because they're giving the poison to, well, pretty much all the greenskin units in the important fights, and it's a 20% damage spring. It's no problem, Achilles. But yeah, so the right flank is pushing in. We were focusing on the left flank, which was going worse. But now that this flank is coming in, and the Wa is coming in, maybe the greenskins can really start pushing to victory here.
To me, it seems that, even though a lot of the Bretonnian units are routing, most of these are, the really cheap units. And the big damage deals seem really healthy to me at the moment.
Yeah, Astolfo usually has one part of the battlefield where he's just really strong. Grail Guardians in this case, and his Hero Squad, and that Hero Squad is still looking very good. And of course it has the Fey Enchantress, who is like a Mortis engine. And when there's not a lot of range on the field, that Mortis engine can really hurt in the end. So I think it's going to be up to Satsuma to really kill the units that are not supported by the Fey very efficiently and have enough stuff left to deal with them as well. Because he doesn't have great character killers.
it does seem that the Grail Guardians are, you know, definitely losing some health. Now an Earthblood was casted to make sure that, you know, they don't lose any more models or any more health. But I don't know if he should be fighting, you know, that blob with goblins, with you know, the Night Goblins, the Goblin Big Boss, because the Greenskin Cavalry just has free reign over the field and is basically killing all these Knights of the Realm.
Yeah, that is true. On the other hand, they are slower than the Bretonnian cavalry, so it's one of the problems of this matchup. It's very difficult to choose your engagements. Yeah, the big boss is getting killed. The Grail Guardian's coming into the back here. The goblins are getting killed.
I think this is kind of sealing the deal here for this blob. The Night Goblins holding strong, but only because they're unbreakable.
Yes, true. So for now, the Greenskins will definitely lose this engagement, and I'm not sure if in the end they will be able to deal with this Grail Guardian Paladin force, but they do have units that are just cleaning up back. Maybe if they all come back. He also has Death Creepers, which I don't know if he forgot about them, but they've been very inactive. And if they could just come in and start poisoning this blob, it'd be pretty good. Not doing it right now.
Yeah, and you know, Wurzak is so close, it's just, you know, a given to just go for him with the cavalry. And,
oh yes, he cannot escape if they go for him. He's trying to run away on his boar, but a boar is not a Bretonnian horse, so yeah, run Wurzak, run.
And there are not really any units nearby to support them. I mean, we have the Night Goblin Shaman, but that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, with the poison coming in, he might be able to escape, because it's going to lower the speed of these units to 56, which is less than his speed. Just a little bit less, though. Oh, he's using the effigy, but now the heroes are on him, and it's going to be very bad. But it seems the poison Death Creepers are actually helping him, but they need to shoot the Paladins now to make sure.
I think he should just send one Paladin chasing the Death Creepers, so that, you know, the poison is kind of out of the picture, or that he needs to micromanage it constantly.
Death Creepers were used to catch the Paladins. Should probably pull out now before they lose too many models in that fight. Still have a lot of ammo to spend. Yeah, Satsuma is throwing what he can against these units, but his forces are sort of divided, so despite that lead on the balance of power, we're not really seeing that in the engagements right now. Was he actually diving into the Fae? Tried it.
Good try.
Ooh, the Death Creepers. Getting caught by the Cav. It's painful. So many models. They still had so much possible regen. And arrows. I think that's a loss he can't afford at this point.
No, it's looking pretty grim now for the Greenskins.
Yeah, I would say so. He did a good job clearing off everything else, but Bretonnian Cavalry just a little bit too strong and a little bit too fast to be dealt with in the meantime. Now that balance of power has shifted a lot, and Bretonnians are pulling ahead.
But you really have to commend the effort, though. You know, Satsuma bringing balls to the walls, cavalry greenskin build against Bretonnia. I like it.
Yeah, I like the build as well, and I have to say, you would expect something like this to maybe work because it's a big surprise. But Astolfo, he's played so much, especially with Bretonnia. I feel like he responded really well to it, even though it's likely he's never faced something like this before. He's just killing words right now.
Maybe he knew.
Huh.
And he was like, not today, friend.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but it's such a crazy sort of build that I wouldn't expect anyone to have did anything like it against him. But you never know. Yeah, another thing is these savage orc war boys. They're pretty cool. They allow him to get more cavalry. When they're fighting against Grail Guardians, it's just the worst engagement possible for them almost. Because the only defense they have is physical resistance. Fighting against units with magic damage, just shred through them. Satsuma's doing what he can, seems to be going for the Fae, but he's gonna pull out here. That was a good game.
GG.
They kinda, as I said, the Grail Guardians, the part of the army that was very difficult to deal with.
Is there maybe like another version of this build that would be, or maybe would have done, or gives it like something to deal with the Grail Guardians?
Ooh, I mean,
Or would you have
typically,
to look at like large anti-large monsters?
yeah, typically the thing you want against a unit like Grail Guardians, or Grail Guardians specifically, is something that kills models. So, Spirit Leech, and a Ragnarok, maybe a Giant if you can kill the archers to just smack a couple models, because you saw how their health was dropping low. You weren't losing many models and it just kept getting healed up. That's the strength of Grail Guardians. Was a unit at like 50% health that still had 43 of their models. Just so efficient if you can heal that with Earthblood over and over. Yeah, you kinda need units that kill models. You don't know for sure that Grail will be brought. It could be more archers, some questing knights if they want to take on a spider. Always kinda hard against it. I feel like with the army he had, he could have won. Just the initial engagement on the left didn't go so well. Astolfo had very good responses, and then yeah, he kind of sent in units piecemeal against the blob, and it was kind of hard not to do that because, well, Bretonnian cavalry is just faster, and it took a long time to chase everything off. I feel like he only could have killed them with an overwhelming force, surrounded them and outed them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that engagement on the left at the start. Imagine if the Grail Guardians weren't on that flank.
True, and they were hidden at the start as well, so it was a pretty good approach. So, God of Gobos in chat is saying 5 catapults, quick win. Catapults can actually kill models on Grail Guardian as well, that's true. Problem is that if there's like one trap, it's trading against the trap, move the Grail Guardians out of range, it's kind of difficult. Okay, Astolfo is picking Greenskins and Tomb Kings. Satsuma is responding with Tomb Kings. Maybe we'll get Tomb King's mirror here. Get Greenskins against Tomb King. Let's see. Was it really necessary to chase off the peasants though? I would say the peasant archers, yes. The peasant mobs, not so much. Even though you still want them dead, you probably don't want to spend too. Except with the moon howlers, or maybe your spider. Forgot his poison spiders for the whole match. They could have helped. Imagine if they were shooting that calf blob while he was trying to avoid, or while he should have been avoiding combat with it. It could have slowed him down to the point where he could avoid combat with them for long enough to gather enough just to win against them.
But didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many variables in this game that you can pretty much always say, like, it would have been more optimal to bring this or that. Like in the chat, they're saying how you didn't expect Grail Guardians because they would be pretty bad against Stone Trolls, which is true. Stone Trolls, of course, have that magic resistance that would limit the damage of the Grail Guardians. Yeah, that's the nature of the game.
Looks like we're getting, again, Arnold Schwarzenegger's favorite faction.
Yep, I'm happy it went for Greenskins.
You don't like to watch mirrors?
I don't
Is that a
mind
Viking?
mirrors.
Okay.
Last week we had actually some of the best games were mirrors. The Wood Elf mirror was pretty good. The Empire mirror was amazing. Don't know if there were any other mirrors. Oh yeah, there was a Lizardman mirror between Falcon and A-Move that was really good as well. But any of the undead mirrors, Doom Kings is probably the least bad of them. Any of the undead mirrors are really the ones where I go like, eh. They're probably the ones I don't want to see.
Just a bunch of zombies on either side, looking at each other.
Yeah.
So the map of the pass. Anticity against Chosen One. Chosen One kind of stayed in his lane, in his spawn, right? But like he has like there is kind of a hill that can protect you like from a flank. But then again, there is a forest in front, which is like a nice like launch pad for any attacks. I don't know if it's an idea to kind of rush for that forest and do something there, positionally, of course.
Yeah, if you're expecting to get shot at by artillery and stuff, you can definitely do that. Just usually they will deploy on the side that's away from the forest, so you're kind of out of range of it anyway. But yeah, that forest can be used tactically by both sides. Sure. Full face. Dicity. If, you know, the meme holds, then Astolfo will win and face his clanmate.
Clan matches are always nice.
Okay, greenskins or tomb kings?
I'll let you go over the greenskins.
Right, I'll go over my people. So, we have Rom the Paunch. Of course, I think he just has the lucky... Oh no, he just has Language of the Boys, not even the lucky banner. He's feeling really lucky. I'll even take that. Giant River Troll Hag with the Spirit Leech, the Bitter, Salt of Stone. Yeah, Forest Goblins, Spider Archers, 2 of them, Mangy Marauders, double Arachnarok, one of them the Queen. Nice. And there's a front line of Goblin. Some Orc Boys on the flanks. Biggins, there's also the 8-peak Boonies, so a very melee heavy army. No Black Orc, just relying on Grom to give the immunity to psychology that you would look for. Or the Tomb Kings. I feel like we've seen this army before, Achilles.
It's a skeleton skeleton horseman archers in the front. As for other cavalry, there are 4 Nekahara horsemen on the field. We have Unushapti with great bows. As for infantry, you have some skeleton spearmen. And I think, yeah, that's it. No, like a tomb guard with halberds. We also have, again, like a screaming skull catapult. They seem to be popular.
The leadership debuff is great against greenskins.
Necrotect, and we have Arkan the Black himself playing as a character. Spirit Liege, Doom and Darkness, the Liber Mortis, the Staff of Nagash, and the Tomb Blade of Arkan, and of course, one of my favorite units, the Bone Giant.
Oh yeah, the Bone Giant, and that ranged. Ushapti and the Bone Giant, I think, are going to be critical here. Taking out that Arachnarok Spider, or both of them, actually, because he has the tools to kill them, and you can see he's going for that tactical positioning through the forest. Arachnaroks have Strider, so they won't be slowed down by it. But yeah, he can't just lose any ranged units here. Or he's dealt with the Arachnaroks, otherwise they're going to be way too difficult to deal with, I think. First shot already being wasted into the goblins.
And didn't do anything.
Oh, it didn't even kill them. Every shot counts, because this Bone Giant, it only has 18 ammo. And the damage, I mean, not sure how big the bonus versus large is. It's actually 200 bonus versus large. So if it hits the spider, we'll hit it for 800 damage. Yeah.
Are charging into braced goblins. Like, I know goblins are not really, super good units, but you shouldn't charge into, when they're braced with light cav, and then also getting shot by the skirmish cav. I think that was quite a mistake right there.
Yeah, they don't actually have charge defense, even though they have the spear icon. But yeah, there's a lot of units to punish here, and the Nekar horsemen are definitely feeling that. The Midder, of course, also being useful, and I think... Has he simply not seen the spiders? No, he must have. He trying to use his Bone Giant on them. They walk out of the forest, I think, instead of wasting
He's
ammo.
trying to shoot while he was trying to shoot a giant river troll hag, which is being kept in the back for now. It's actually okay. Now it's moving up with the army.
She's regenerating. Yeah, here comes the first Spirit Leech on Grom the Pouch. Of course, he will be regenerating as well, so Satsuma may want to reevaluate where he's putting his damage currently. He does have a nice opportunity on the flank here to charge into these big uns, just going from one unit to the next. Drops a summon, break the advance, and look, this Ragnarok is getting pretty low already.
Yes. One of them is, but Ark on the Black, you know, being caught on foot by two of these Ragnarok spiders, I don't think that's the best situation for him.
No, not really, although he still has some units near him to help with that. And yeah, he's kind of leading them towards this Bone Giant, which is now going to get point-blank shots. Let's look at the damage.
Wow.
He's
And the Tomb Guards are coming in.
Yeah. Astolfo...
You know, in the meanwhile, Grom is, you know, cleaning up all of these Nahakara horsemen on the flank, though, and there are a lot of greenskins on Satsuma's right flank. Not really targeting important targets with the, you know, with the Spider Riders. Are they targeting the Ushapti? Yeah, I think they are.
Yes, they're targeting the Ushapti. One of them has died. Now, this forgotten unit of Carrion here would have been great to pressure them, but it's currently not happening. And yeah, at least the Screaming Skull Catapult is shooting away. You can see the leadership debuff being applied to the big uns there. I think Satsuma has done a good job dealing with these spiders so far. Kind of has them locked inside his halberds. Ideal. That's an Assault of Stone, though. Actually did less damage than I would have expected. Now the worst engagement you'd expect. Tomb Kings, which is the Bone Giant getting attacked by the Ragnarok Queen. So that Bone Giant has to get out of there. With nice timing on the Ushapti summon.
I'm sending in his last line of defense right now. All the while these Screaming Catapults have been shooting, but I don't know if they've been generating the value that he was looking for.
I mean,
Argos as well coming in. Really
in terms of
buffing
kills, they haven't done that much. Look, he's now routing the spiders, which is great. But meanwhile, Grom is going for Arkan, and that could just be as bad of a loss as the spiders.
Just throwing him around.
Yep.
The Bone Giant being forced to fight in melee.
Got some good hits on Grom. Also, Doom and Darkness tried to chase Grom off there, but it didn't leave much of an impression on the Pouch. The Carrion are still forgotten. They could be used right now to chase these spiders, for example.
Yes,
it's not happening. Meanwhile, the Screaming Skull Catapults have been compromised by some spider hatchlings. I don't know if the Tomb Kings will be able to hold here, because once the spiders rally, their ranged units are too occupied to still deal with them. And there's still a pretty healthy Grom.
Yes. And for the Tomb Kings, the only really strong infantry unit on the field, the Tomb Guards, are basically dying. They are about to be surrounded by a horde of greenskins.
Yeah.
Look, Giant River Trollhag is, kind of routing, but I think it'll come back. It's running in a good way.
Yeah, and she's regenerating, so it's really good when you have these Carrion and you can just push something off the field at relatively low cost. But this forgotten unit of Carrion might just be what cost Satsuma this game, because that could have been one less Ragnarok, that could have been less damage on the Ushapti, that could have been so many things. Right now,
for sure.
It's just a pure melee brawl, and well, you know where that usually goes when greenskins are involved.
I guess the only thing that's keeping Satsuma in the game is actually that his infantry unit is undead, so they don't shoot through them. Or, well, they have to kind of...
Looks like the greenskins are pushing to victory here. The Tomb Kings will hold, as you said. The greenskins will hold as well, thanks to the presence of Grom. And yeah, once again, I feel like it was a fight where Satsuma, I won't say had it in the bag, but at good moments throughout the battle, but just sort of didn't really make the most out of certain situations, partially due to forgetting units, which is not something that's common for him. Not much to say here anymore. We can look at the beautiful monster mash. But Greenskins are just grinding their way to victory right now. Hack came back as well. Carrion, guys. Carrion. You haven't even been looking the right way. GG. Astolfo continues. Satsuma will be in the lower bracket.